Brother Ron, and welcome to We All Be News Radio and TV, the news-free Dixie for the 21st century.
All right. Hey, chat room. How are you guys doing on this Sunday afternoon? I hope you guys are all doing good out there. Hey. I see Torian, Jay Shine, CP, Avi the Great, Jalil, Nikki Ivory. Hey, Joni, Black Voltron Reloaded. Welcome. I hope you guys are doing great on this Sunday afternoon. And it's a doozy. I've been, wanting to really talk about this. And here we are talking about it. And of course, I also have my brother, Ron Hurd from We All Be TV. He is also joining me today. And I wanted to get his perspective on this and whatnot. But before we get started, go ahead and like this, share, please subscribe, all that good stuff. So we are going to go into the Joe Biden, Kamala Harris presidency so far. And let's go ahead and welcome Mr. Ron Hurd from We All Be TV.
Man, it's an honor to be on, Sister Nicole. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm glad to hear about your son doing better. And my condolences, amplified blessings to Brother Harvey, man. That's tough. That was a tough listen, man. It was really tough.
It was. I've been just trying to, stay in contact with him and check on him and all that good stuff. But, he's a strong man and he's dealing with it the best way he knows how. But
I understand, people talk about protect Black women. And I guess, you go back and forth. Our women worthy of protection, but she's like she was a good person. I mean, she's young.
Yeah.
She didn't really have a chance to live her life. And I hope that, her daughter is surrounded with the type of love that she needs to get through this.
Right. We can only hope and just pray that everything turns out okay for the daughter. Yeah. Keep Harvey in your thoughts and prayers. This is tough. But yes. So Ron, how are you doing? We're going to segue into this whole, we are under the Joe Biden and Kamala Harris presidency.
You have a sense of humor about it. I just geez, really, they force feeding us this. We didn't want this. We don't want the asparagus or the spinach. They're force feeding us this stuff.
Right.
So I can't really be mad at us though, man, because we didn't have no choice.
Right. Those of us, because there is a civil war. There is this civil war I see in this split. I see those, and when I'm talking about us, I'm talking about us, Black society. I see those who are just going along with it. It's on my Facebook. I see people up and down on my Facebook, totally oblivious. It's Chucks and Pearls. It's, AKA Skiwi. We're so excited to have this woman representing us, but her background looks nothing like us. I'm sorry to say. And then you have those of us here who are totally against this. We see the BS for what it is. We see the agenda that's being pushed. We see that we are not going to be taken seriously. And we see that we are now going to be buried because we see that Joe Biden has already signed all these crazy executive orders with nothing Black in them. Nothing. The first thing he's doing is this immigration thing. Over 11 million Honduras immigrants are they're going to be welcome to come over. And that's not for me to, knock them or any of that. But at the same time, it's like, wait a minute. You have your own people here that is telling you, look at what's going on over here. Look at what's going on in Black society. Look at how this country is treating these Black citizens. What are you going to do about that? And these same Black citizens voted you in office more than any other group. And nowhere in his executive orders is anything Black. And don't tell me that there is this racial equality thing he has going on. It's nonsense. It's nothing. Okay. It's nothing. So Ron, I'm so angry when I think about it.
That's all right. It's okay.
You know?
Express yourself.
Yeah.
It's very therapeutic. Yeah.
Ugh.
The only thing black is the ink that he used to sign on death wishes. Make sure it's black. Make sure the ink is black. But it's interesting to ponder because you can't blame him when we don't ask for anything in return for our loyalty. Right. Malcolm talked about that in his speech Prospects for Freedom that came out in 65. Why is it that black folks are voting 97% for Democrats? Right. What is the reason? What is the tangibles? There are no tangibles. I know I always say, well, what's the code? People want to stay on code. The code is when you use identity politics, you need to have a group code. When the Irish use identity politics, they were for Irish first. When the Italians use identity politics, they were for Italians first. When the Jewish people use identity politics, they were for the Jewish people first. But when black people use identity politics, we for everybody. We want diversity. We want everybody to eat before we eat. Exactly. But yeah, therein lies the problem.
Exactly. And that's what makes me just so, technically we can't even be mad at Joe Biden because, we have these black folks out here who wanted this, who vouched for this, who said, we have this pandemic going on, we have this going on, we have that going on. And I'm sitting here saying to myself, you guys just don't see the bigger picture. You don't see it at all. You see these groups they're springboarding off of you. I mean, there's going to be nothing for us. It's nothing for us now, but now it's really, you solidified. That's it. You solidified it. You solidified it, basically. There's nothing. There's absolutely nothing. And and I just kept asking on Twitter, what is it with black people wanting to be the bed frame for America? What is it? What is it? I don't get it. You're getting nothing out of this.
Well, with black people, we got to figure out something. Our biggest problem is that we want to be around white people at all costs. We want to live with white people. We want to sleep with white people. Hell, we only matter when they kill us. When Emmett Till, what's funny? It's not funny. I know it's not funny. Anybody, it's not black people. But when I tell people, there's a lot of black folks involved in killing Emmett Till too. Black people were involved? See, people, what they do about that, why is it they do that? There were several black men or males involved in the killing of Emmett Till back in 1955. But in 2021, we don't know that. Right. That there were black males involved in kidnapping, torturing, and killing Emmett Till. Because it only matters when white folks think we matter. Our whole lives are defined by the white imagination. Right. You know what I'm saying? We don't even define us. How can a people, it's like, if they offer us reparations, say we'll give y'all reparations, but some things you got to do is you can't be around white people, you can't sleep with white people. How many black folks will go for that? But I want equality. We'll give y'all reparations if y'all leave us alone. We kept on telling y'all slow selves that we were no good. We say whites only because we know we the devil. We know we no good, but y'all keep on want to be around us. We don't understand it. Why you want to be around us? Something's wrong with us. White folks been telling us that there's been something wrong with them for 400 years. We still don't get it. So I'm saying, like, if you talk about, like, you on Clubhouse, I don't know if you got that Clubhouse app, whatever. But it's interesting conversation.
My sister Taisha invited me, and I still haven't even gone on it. So,
but it's like it's freedom of speech, but I don't trust anything. But they've been spying on us anyway. Right. But what I'm saying is, when you talk about black liberation, it never ceased to fail that somebody will bring up, what about white people? What about them? Yeah. You think they thinking about you when they try to do their thing? Right. A lot of them just now discovered they're not really white after January 6th. They thought they was white all this time. And then January 6th came along, and then January 20th came along. Oh, I don't be treated like black people. That's why white folks are amazed that we've been treating them this bad. Why are they not fighting back? But we'll fight for white liberation. We'll fight for white supremacy, but we won't fight for black liberation.
Right. And that's the thing. And it's like, you're going to hear the typical excuses. Well, he just got in there. Give him some time. Like, okay. A month goes by. Well, he just, they're still trying to figure it out.
But we gave him 47 years, though.
Yeah.
If Donald Trump had the same legislative record that Joe Biden had, I can understand people hating Trump.
Right.
But it's weird.
The thing with Trump is Trump was all mouth. You know, just all mouth. And a lot of us, we get sucked in with the what he's saying, the emotions of it. You know, I was no Trump fan, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm not going to sit up here and attack him. And you just elected Joe Biden, who's been in office 47 plus years, been vice president, and everything else in between. And what does he have to show for it besides, you know, many of our people being locked up? What does he have to show for it? And you go and elect that? Okay.
But who helped? Now you got to understand, like somebody made a great point. Black folks been saving Master Joe all his life.
Yeah.
He's really Calvin Candy. See, James Clyburn is Uncle Stephen. See, from Camelot to Candyland. See, this is Candyland. I call it Candyland. I don't call it the Biden Harris. This is the mass incarceration ticket. But black people have been saving white master's ass all this time. Joe Biden, first of all, he didn't become really legitimate until who endorsed him? Obama. Obama made this man legitimate. He's been trying to run for president for years, couldn't get nowhere. And then he became vice president under Obama, you know, and that made him legitimate. It's like people don't understand the power of black people to validate white people. You from Texas, like Buddy Holly. I like Buddy Holly. I like, but people just try to listen to that stuff. But Buddy Holly didn't become legitimate till he came to the Apollo.
Right.
You know, black folks had to make him, they had the King make Buddy Holly. It's like Usher King made Justin Bieber. It's like Dr. Dre King made Eminem. We underestimate the power of black people to make these white folks who they are. It's like Nearest Green made Jack Daniels. Just like Rufus T. Top Payne made Hank Williams Sr., the king of country music. We have the power. We built this country. The capital we built. We built DC. We built the capital. We built this nation.
Yep.
But yet we put everybody before us. We the foundation for everybody's success but ours.
Yeah.
But with Biden, you know, he learned from the best. He learned from James Eastland, the senator from Mississippi, who ran the Democratic Party back in the day, back in the 60s. He learned from how do you deal with these naggers, with these naggers. He learned how they, so, you know, you think about that Zoom conference call, I ain't doing nothing for y'all darkies. Y'all listen to me. You listen to these Latinos. They your bosses. They the straw boss. They the overseers. You better pay attention to them, boy. You hear me, boy? You hear me now? You know, and he can't even talk. Like when he was talking with Cardi B, what are the subtitles for both of their asses? I can't understand. People, are you looking at this? That's why I can't get mad at our people. Our people don't know no better. They gonna learn something today. Because you know, he just rolled back on Trump. He tried to make you know, if you're talking about the COVID stuff, but if you can't get the proper medication for your pre-existing conditions, that's killing you too. So Trump tried to make it cheaper for folks to get insulin from Big Pharma, because people forget Big Pharma was taken over by the Rockefellers. Big Oil took over Big Pharma and Big Education. So they ran out of natural healing. See, black folks, you know, we was raised off the land. We connected to the land. We cultivated the, you know, the old Big Mama back in the day. She had all the remedies to cure all your ailments. Black folks was not getting cancer back in the day like that. You had national healing from the roots and stuff like that, but they poisoned the land.
Yeah.
Bill Gates buying all the land. Why is he buying all the land?
Yep. I saw that, all the farmland.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like stuff going on. It's too much, and I don't hate my people, but you pay a price for doing the right thing for black people. We don't honor folks that do right by us. We honor. I'm not knocking George Floyd, but why y'all made him like he's Dr. King? I'm not knocking Breonna Taylor, but how come y'all like she Rosa Parks or Ida B. Wells? I'm not.
Right. It's
like we weird like that. You know, we weird like that.
It's a balance. It's like everything has to have balance. And then when you look at what's going on, there is no balance. And that's the problem. It's either far left, far right, even though it's still white supremacy in my opinion, but there's just no balance whatsoever. And now, even with Joe Biden, I saw that with the transgender thing.
Oh my God, Jesus!
Now he's signing off, making it okay for, I guess, guys who feel like they're girls. Now they're going to be allowed to be a part of women's sports. And now you have the feminists out here. They are pissed off because now this is erasure of women. So this is what you vote for. Now, if you have daughters and they're competing in high school sports or whatever, or hell, this may go even higher. Let's say the Olympics. Let's see how far this goes.
It's over, man.
It's over. It's over.
You know what's strange?
And they're pissed about it.
You know what's strange about feminism? Like, white feminism is different from black feminism. White feminism don't want to destroy their white man. They just want favors intangible for their man. They want to be acknowledged by their man. But black feminism is like, you got to hate black men at all costs. But with this thing about, transgender, you ain't no woman. You still a man.
Yeah.
You got to... Look, I don't, but I'm saying ain't no reason why a man should be participating in women's sport. They should make the transgender Olympics.
That's what
make a transgender league or something. Jesus.
Yeah. Why can't it just be that? Why can't they be their own entity? Just like NFL is its own entity, the WNBA is their own entity. This is why you have male sports, you have female sports.
Right. You had the Negro leagues, right? You had why not make a league of their own? So they could be confused by themselves. Shit.
But that's the thing, like, even to me that makes more sense because then I can go watch you and say, okay, let's see what they're doing over here. This, this is kind of curious, I'm curious, but people are going to be like, that's not fair. That's not biologically, that's not fair. We know that men are superior when it comes to that kind of stuff. I'm sorry, it is what it is.
Yeah,
it is what it is. This is biology.
Yeah, cause I mean, I don't look at WNBA. They don't got no LeBron. And that's why I criticize LeBron James. He's a great basketball player. They don't do enough dunking for me. I don't see. I mean, no disrespect to the women. I know you have to shit. Sue Bird should make as much money as LeBron James. The hell you say? It's like Layla Ali and her daddy. Layla Ali's good. But I mean, I like Layla Ali, but she's not Muhammad Ali. I mean, he's the daughter, but it's something about Muhammad. You watch that's poetry and motion. It's something about that. And it's time for even like you look at our politics, but Jim Clyburn, he saved Joe Biden's presidential bid. Black people saved Joe Biden because if he didn't win the South Carolina primary, he wouldn't be where he at right now.
Right.
But yet, what did Jim Clyburn get for that? He was on TV. I don't want nothing from Master Joe. I just want to be happy and zippity-doo-dah, zippity-day. Oh, what a wonderful day. Oh, Uncle Remus Negro. I mean, like, I don't want nothing from Master Joe. Master Joe did enough for me just not being the president. That's some silly coon. I mean, silly folk, man. But what's interesting? Like, I asked people, I was honest about this because, black girl magic is not working for us in politics.
No.
And when black girl, I mean, like, it's all about bashing black men 24/7 when a black female politician speaks. But can you name me one great or historically significant black female mayor in our history? I could name you several black male mayors that were great, were maybe not so great, but memorable, or were historically significant. I can't name one black female mayor. And Baltimore had a whole bunch of them, the Three Stooges. And they didn't do nothing for Baltimore.
Yeah.
I mean, can you name one, Sister Nicole? I don't know. I don't know everything, but can you name any black female mayor that, oh my gosh, she was one of the greatest? She did something for B1 black people. I mean, I could name her Washington, of course. Of course, Marion Barry.
Marion Barry, yeah.
He was great, He was so great, they tried to mislabel him as a crackhead,
Yeah.
Like, he didn't do nothing else but help, he helped a lot of black people.
And that's the thing. And when people talk about him, it's like, that's what they go back to. And it's like, no, like, we saw what that was about. That was the great setup.
Yeah. They spent $48 million to set that man up. And you know what's crazy? He was the first chairman of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. Marion Barry was not only a political genius, he was a brilliant mind, a scientific mind. He was just a couple of credits short of getting his PhD, I think either in chemistry or biology from the University of Tennessee, Knoxville. And he gave that up to pursue in service of black people. He wanted to put black folks first, and he did it. He created a black business class in DC. He created one of the largest thriving black middle classes in the whole country. I mean, he made sure that prisoners coming back home from prison, they had a second chance to start not only working, but also start their own businesses. A black man did that. When they gave DC home rule, that's why DC don't have home rule no more, because of what he was able to do. Because they knew that, no matter what we try to label Marion Barry as a skirt chaser, as a person who just had too many excesses, he was not corrupt. He had his personal demons, but he did not make a dime off of this. You understand? When he died, he was broke. Mayor Barry was broke. He helped so many, but he got a lot of people get rich. He made sure
Wow.
the government did business with minority subcontractors. He
Right.
made sure that the federal or the government, the city government, hired black folks that look like you and I, who were foundational black Americans, who came out the Delta, who came from the country, who could trace their people back to slavery, back to the even pre-revolutionary times. He looked out for black people. He used politics as a way to move the civil rights movement forward. Where is that black political leadership today? Where is the black men? Where are the black men political leaders at the local, state, and federal level? We don't have any.
No, none. They don't exist.
They don't exist. Last time identity politics worked for black people really in this country was the Reconstruction era. That only lasted for a decade. And you had strong black man leadership back then. So we talking about Stacey Abrams. Stacey Abrams is an Aunt Stephanie for the Democratic Party. James Clyburn's Uncle Stephen. We don't got no leader. We got Uncle Stephen. We need some Uncle Toms. Uncle Tom was a hero. The real Uncle Tom liberated black folks. He had found a town in Canada where escaped slaves. Uncle Tom was the man. It's like Dick Gregory would say, you know, when's my time to be different? Like, what's a Tom girl? I mean, a tomboy. A tomboy.
A girl that's like kind of boyish, you know?
Yeah, but black folks, we always shape shifting though. But when the man want to shape shift, they label us a sellout. You know, you think about it, you know, come here, yeah, Kamala Harris. Yeah, Converse and pearls. You know, they want it for boys and girls, black boys and girls. They want boys to wear dress with chucks and pearls. You know what I'm saying? This is the agenda, and you folks, our black women are leading us to the slaughter. They're leading us to the gas ovens. This is like 1930s Germany right now. They lead our women. I love our women. Dick Gregory talking about the strongest forces in American history was the black women and the black church. We need our women, but our women are leading us astray because you can only submit to one master. And a lot of our women masters is white zaddy. It's the white patriarchy system. Because the black man is not respected in the black family anymore.
No. Those days.
There you go.
Those days definitely died when Obama got in office.
Oh my God. Oh,
for
Jesus.
sure. For sure.
What a psyop for black people, right?
For real. And then what's so weird about it, as you were just saying about the zaddy thing, and then you see this with Michelle Obama and Bush.
Yeah.
You see this thing where they've made them out to be. And I remember when Bush, I tweeted this. I remember when Bush was hated, and I mean, he was the Antichrist. Now he's being reinvented just because he's Michelle Obama's little buddy, a little plaything, little zaddy bear. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it with some of them.
I hear you.
You know
what's interesting about Bush when he was governor of your state in the 1999, even Michael Moore talked about his documentary Fahrenheit 9/11. The Taliban were guests of the state of Texas in 1999. Then 2 years later, they enemy of the state of the United States. George Bush has done. This is the 20th anniversary year of September 11th. This is also the 20th anniversary year of us getting into Afghanistan on Bush's watch. And now I can't tell people what to think, but you should figure out by now that this stuff is always the enemies within. The moment say like that, I don't want to get you in trouble, but you know, people need to be research and open your damn eyes. This is nothing. It's the same playbook.
Same thing.
Yeah, you always talking about the barbarians at the gate, but what about the beasts inside the gate? The beast within, the hate produce inside the gate. So I'm saying Bush is like, it was weird to talk about how this election, they could turn into Banana Republic. You are Mr. Banana Republic, Curious George. Curious George, you turned this to Banana Republic back in 2000. I remember when Al Gore, you know, it's like the Supreme Court gave it to Bush, man.
Yeah,
but they wouldn't give it to Trump, but they gave it to Bush, and you see the effects of what happened.
Oh yeah.
And Biden is not black people friend. Black folks. It's like I listen. Look, I'm a supervisor on my job. I'm the youngest person. I'm 40 years old. People like 20-something, 30-something years older than me. These are all black people. So I know how to deal with my people, especially with the boomers. These folks got a thing. They be in their feelings. Like they say, well, why you talk to me like that? Because I'm a supervisor. But what about you act like a kid? I treat you like a child because you don't respect the position of supervisor. Yeah, I know I'm younger than you, but I'm still the authority figure on this premises. So if you don't do what I say, I got to punish you like a child. I'm going to cut your hours. If you don't check in with me before you leave, Don't ever come back again. So
Right.
you got to be stern like that. It's respect, but you can't let folks take advantage of your kindness.
Right.
I don't hold grudges. It's like a quarterback. You throw an interception, that last possession, you forget about it, because if you focus on the interception you throw or that turnover, it's gonna mess you up for the rest of the game. I'm looking at the long picture, but the thing about our people are very infantile. They don't have Alzheimer's, dementia. They just act like children because they're not allowed to be fully realized men and women, because you allow white folks to define you. So how can you have self-liberation if you don't have self-determination, if you can't define yourself on your terms? It goes back to Muhammad Ali, when nobody didn't want to call Muhammad Ali, they said, "Well, I want to call him Cassius Clay." And he fought this guy named Ernie Terrell, this great heavyweight. Ernie said, "Well, I met you as Cassius. Your mama called you Cassius. I'm going to call you Cassius." Then Muhammad proceeded to whoop his ass for like 12 rounds. "What's my name? What's my name? What's my name?" He ain't knock him out. He said, "I couldn't knock him out," but people thought he was torturing the man. So what's my name? Black people got to be about that when it comes to tangibles, when it comes to sex actualization. Make these folks say your name and be willing to fight for these people to say your name. Don't fight for their own interests. Fight for your interests. Develop what your interests are. Create a vision, like you're talking about these vision boards. Will make it real.
Right.
Well, we ain't black, we indigenous. We'll make it real. There's no black country. Make a black land. You got a Scotland, you got an England. Why not a black land? You name it, you claim it, and you fight for it, you make it real. And black folks want white folks to build. White folks, the only friend we ever had that was morally good, white man, was John Brown. He didn't want nothing from black people. He said, slavery is wrong. It's morally wrong. And he put his life on the line and his son's life on the line for us. Frederick Douglass told John Brown, "Look, man, I can't die for these niggas. I can speak on these niggas. I can advocate for the niggas. I ain't gonna die for these niggas." That was I'm not going to Harper's Ferry, man. But years later, he acknowledged that when they dedicated something to John Brown, I think in Harper's Ferry, Frederick Douglass said, "Look, he was morally correct, man. But I just couldn't do what he did, but he did it and he made his point." It's like, with these black women, I went to school with women that like to swirl. They all talk about black man swirl, but these women have these interracial kids. It's fun in the moment. You gotta think about the long term. They be writing these long ass posts on my social media talking about, "How can I raise my son in a world where he's not respected?" You thought you got with Jerry. Jerry is a racist. The dude that you open your heavens, the gates of your heaven to, is the Lucifer. You let Lucifer back into heaven. And you got the nerve to complain how your son is treated. You should have thought about that. You went. You open. I'm gonna be honest. All these white men are racist. I don't care if they love the black WAP. They still are racist. They always been. Going back to Thomas Jefferson and Sally Hemings. You talk about how black women love Olivia Pope, that scandal stuff. You had a dude on there. You remember there was a senator from Florida, I think, black guy, respectable guy, rising star in the party. He was courting Olivia Pope, but she chose to be the side chick, the Sally Hemings 2.0 to Fitzgerald. And black women love that stuff. But what if, look at Kamala Harris, married to a white Jewish guy. What if Obama was married to a white Jewish woman? We had been president, black woman.
Yeah, that's a good question, because I know people always ask, like, what would the dynamic be? Would there be this? They just love the Obamas like they do now. I really question that. I don't think, like you said, I don't think he would have even made it to the presidency. I think he would have lost to Hillary.
They would love, because Michelle is a real black woman. I mean, I ain't gonna go nowhere. I'm gonna leave that alone. I gotta walk that back. But you know what I'm saying? But she, like, okay, black girl magic. I can see it. She was stunning. Okay, she a fashion idol, like Jackie Kennedy was. Jackie Kennedy was black. You know that, right? She was black. Look it up. Her daddy was known as Blackjack, not because he liked to play the game Blackjack, because he was dark. Blackjack Bouvier. Her folks were the Vancellis. These black Muslims from the Netherlands. One of the first inhabitants of Brooklyn, New York. So her family go way back. So the Vancellis, they produced the first black doctor in America to be trained in America. And also they are the forebearers of people like the Vanderbilts and the Whitneys. So all these folks you think are white are really black. So don't shake their family trees too hard. Something might find out.
It wouldn't surprise me. I
But
remember
Humphrey Bogart is a Vancelli. But look at the Vancelli, VAN, then you space SALEE. And Jackie Onassis, the person who designed her wedding dress, was a celebrated black woman, fashion designer for the elites. I think her name was Ann Lewis. but she designed her wedding dress back in 1953. But she was the wedding dress designer to the Illuminati people, like the Rockefellers and all them, the Rothschilds. She designed dresses for people like that.
Interesting, but I believe it. I definitely can believe it. You know, knowing the history of this country, and you know how we all just pretty much had to do everything.
Yeah. But black folk, we sell ourselves short, though. We sell ourselves short. We don't ask for nothing for our loyalty, boy.
Nothing. And that's what is so annoying about it. It's just like, I don't get it. It's like doing the same thing over and over, expecting something different, and you still get the same result. I see Joe Biden's presidency just like I see Obama's. That's what I see.
Yep.
I see nothing good coming of it. And right now, they dominate everything, the Democrats. So there's really no excuses. This is the perfect opportunity for them to do something for us, tangible for us.
Yeah.
Because we know in 2 years, they're not going to be dominating anything. The way they're going right now, in 2 years, no, everything's going to be flipped. House, Senate, everything's going to be flipped.
Will there be a Democratic Party in 2 years?
Hmm?
Will there be a Democratic Party in 2 years?
I think they'll still be here, but it's going to be bad. It's going to be splintered. It's not going to be good. Like, just looking at Joe Biden and what he's doing, like, this is not going to be good at all.
Well, you know, we got to get what we get, because like you said, if they got control of the White House, the Senate, and the House, there's no reason why we can't get tangibles. The only problem we don't have real solid black political leadership to demand. You know, Frederick Douglass said that power concedes nothing without a demand. You know, Frederick Douglass was in the era of Abraham Lincoln during the Civil War. That's why I was able to get the U.S. colored troops and things of that nature, because you had somebody that was black first in terms of trying to get things for black native people. Because Frederick Douglass complained about the Irish immigrants coming over during the potato famine, how they were using the Irish to replace native-born black people. And Frederick Douglass is beloved over in Ireland, and he spent some years over there when they were trying to get him, you know, take him back to slavery. He went across the pond to places like England and Ireland, and they still got stuff to this day acknowledging his presence in Ireland. But he talked about how they'll try to use Irish immigrants during the potato famine to replace black people. And they try to use other people to replace us now. And black folks, we're voting for our replacements. But anytime you vote Democrat right now, you're voting for your replacements, whether it be illegal immigrants or artificial intelligence, automation.
Yep, absolutely. I want to give a shout out to, I missed you earlier. Xavier, thank you so much for your donation. That means a lot. And if you would like to donate to Ron, this is his Cash App. So I keep moving the banner so you guys can see his Cash App right there. Cash App R2C2H2. So make sure to give it up for our historian here.
Okay. Angry black man in residence, I guess. I love this therapeutic, man. You know what I like about this? Like, I'm using this time to speak my truth so I could just get rid of some dead weight as far as so-called friends and family. It's like, don't talk to me no more, please. I'm gonna let you know how I really feel so y'all can leave me alone. Something wrong with that boy. That boy ain't right. But yeah, I was talking about black people. You remember that movie Glory? That's one of my favorite movies of all time, Glory. And you know that scene when they were down in South Carolina, 54th Massachusetts? He had this white dude, he had his U.S. colored troops in their little red pajama pants. And you know, I can never forget the scene, right? He was saying, oh yeah, we know, man, but they were like ransacking the town, right? They were like doing Antifa and Black Lives Matter impression from this summer. And so they were ransacking the town, and one of the U.S. colored troops hit a black woman, a black mammy, a black servant, and then he tried to put his hands on white lady, and dude shot, "Don't put your hand on white lady, boy. What's wrong with you?" He shot him down. He said, "You gotta know your place, Negro. Like, you could be crazy among your people, you could disrespect yourself and your woman, but don't you dare lay a hand on that white woman." So that was one of the most powerful scenes from that movie. I love that movie, Glory. But it shows you that black people are not allowed to do certain things, you know, because you got to answer to white daddy. You know, you got to submit to white daddy, because like even you look at the Capitol thing, you know, you got black folks talking about, well, you know, black folks, if we raid the Capitol, we storm the Capitol, they'll kill us. I mean, they're killing you anyway. Right. They got all type of ways to kill us, more than one way to skin a coon or skin a cat, excuse me. But you look at even the history of DC, black folks did fight back. You know, you go back to the Red Summer of 1919 we had black folks fighting against the U.S. military because Woodrow Wilson would not intervene with the National Guards. I'm talking about white men in their Navy, Marine, and Army uniforms going around the black part of D.C. lynching black folks. They didn't care if you were young or old or whatever, man, woman, or child. And then black folks said enough was enough. You had black World War I veterans as well as school teachers getting guns, sniping white people off the top of rooftops, doing drive-bys down the streets of U Street and stuff like that in DC, killing a whole bunch of white people. And then Woodrow Wilson said enough is enough and called in the National Guards to stop it. But he ain't stopped until after several days of black people fighting back. So this really when Red Summer 1919 began. So when they don't really talk about the Red Summer, they always start with Chicago with the boy drowning, the black kid that could get on the whites only beach. So he went out to the lake and drowned, right? But it started in DC because black folks fought back. They were also fighting against the Washington D.C. police too. He was this ordinary black. You know, you had Carter G. Wilson, Dr. Carter G. Wilson, the father of Black History Month. Now he had to hide for hours because he saw a white mob lynch a black man before his eyes, and he was hiding in fear for hours. So you just had black folks said enough was enough. We fought back. We fought at home and abroad. We always fighting these dual wars. So why do we look for white folks' acceptance? We prove our bravery and courage beyond a reasonable doubt, time after time. Why we keep on looking for every generation to say, we good enough, boss? We good, boss? We good? We always, black folks are weird. It's like you look at, black folks tell me they want liberation and revolution, but they care about who's gonna win and go to the Super Bowl. They worry about football. They're not worried about political football. They worry about foosball. You worry about Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes ain't thinking about you. Patrick Mahomes in love with white women. His mama white. His fiance and future baby mama white. So you know what's funny about these mixed kids? They blame everything on their black side. No, white folk, I'm not white enough. I hate you niggas or nagas. I'm not white enough. Grandma won't accept me. Hell, all white people racist. Why you have? I'm not saying I'm not. I know I like. Look, I made out with some white women. I'm not saying, but still, if they offer me some money and some land, I don't have to have no white meat. I can have chicken and pork chops. I ain't worried about white meat no more. You understand what I'm saying? Like they say, well, Ron will give you a check and give you all this land. Just leave white. Okay, I'll leave white people alone. Some of my best days happen when I don't have to deal with white people. White people nasty. They are some nasty people, and you want to lay down on them. Oh, brother, Ron, you're no man. Look what I'm saying, man. They get lice. Black people don't get no lice. They get lice.
It's deep.
It is, but I'm saying that. You got it's COVID, right? And they still ain't washing their hands. I go to the gym, white folks still ain't washing their hands. You nasty caveman. Gotta spray Lysol down this gym equipment because you don't wash your hands. You want everybody to have what you got in your pants, man. That ain't right.
Yeah.
I don't mean this. I'm not talking. I know
it's unfortunate.
Yeah. I'll just say all white people racist though, and don't mean that because you race don't mean you hate black people. A lot of some of the biggest racists love black people. So racism is not about hate; it's about a system of privileges. Now, white supremacy. So you got black folks that could be white supremacists. You got, all it is the belief that white folks are superior, and that's not proven in nature. And a lot of religions is illogical anyway, to be honest with you. You got to suspend belief or logic in order to believe in a lot of religions. I'm not knocking religions, but I'm just saying. Burning bushes and shit and, all type of stuff. But I don't know. It's fascinating to be alive. I love my people. I'm not blaming us for the Biden thing because it was taken out of our hands. But now we're going to have to pay a price. This is purge season. This is like Hank Aaron. I love Hank Aaron. He survived Jim Crow and racism only to die the way he died.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna leave it at that because people like it's out. I'm gonna say, think about it. I don't know, man. I know 86 is 86, but damn.
Yeah. It's something. It's something. Yeah, I'm just showing some of y'all's comments. Yeah, Brother Ron, straight shooter, let you know.
Yeah, we are in the United States of Arrested Development, man. We're not allowed. My grandfather, he served in World War II, part of Red Ball Express. This is a truck drivers like Amazon Prime or FedEx. They were delivering supplies and stuff to General Patton's Third Army when they was moving very fastly towards Germany, towards Berlin. They landed in Normandy. But one of the things that hurt him was when he came back home And one of the first people to call him a boy was an 80-year-old Pullman porter on the train.
Mm-hmm.
A black man.
Right.
Even 80 years old. And this guy served his country, sacrificed his health and stuff, and to only be called a boy when he came back home, they hurt him. But this 80-year-old black man was probably called a boy all his life. Back in the day, you could have a little kid, white kid, walk on the sidewalk. If you're an 80-year-old black man or woman, you had to get off the sidewalk for the white kid. You couldn't look white folks in the eye. Sometimes they'll put you in a mental institution for looking white folks in the eye or not moving out the sidewalk when white folks were walking on the sidewalk.
Yeah, I remember that.
This happens all the time. What's wrong with this nigga? If you look at me in my eye, it said Mega Evers daddy. White folks were scared of Mega Evers daddy because he wouldn't got the sidewalk. He looked him in the eye. He talked back. So you understand that's the type of man that produced a Mega Evers or Charles Evers who just passed. Black manhood is needed at this point. Not just black males, but black men. And a lot of times the sisters are emasculating their men while in the womb and in the crib. You need your man to protect the women.
Mm-hmm.
See, white women, the white man hates his mama, but the white mama made her boy vicious. She made him the monster that he is. And that's the price she paid, because she wanted to be protected. Because like white women, a lot of the most prominent white women did not care for the right to vote because they had the power over their men. They were the power behind the throne. They had the pillow talk. They had the influence. They said, well, we need a vote when we can control our men. We control the house. We control them. We help them to influence to set policy. So why do we need to vote? Black women been told you don't need no man. See, in the civil rights movement, our greatest victories came not because it was black girl magic, because black families matter. Our greatest victory came when black man and black woman and even black child was on the same page and kept their eyes on the same prize. I look at Montgomery bus boycott movement. I look at the Mississippi movement. A lot of movements, our biggest victories came not when the white folks came to intervene, but when black folks said, we're going to work this out among ourselves. We're going to actually develop a code of conduct and a plan of action, and we're going to work all these things. And we're going to be black first. See, when Dr. King said we integrated to a burning house, we lost our moral code, our compass, and our ethics. So we want to be with white people at all costs.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, because I feel like we could be doing so much more, and until then, we have to do our own, create our own and whatnot. Because, if we keep going along to get along, this is what happens. You're just gonna get trampled over, and not even thought about.
Yeah, we're gonna lose a lot of people. I'll make my peace with it.
Yeah. What can you do? If you guys have any questions for Brother Ron, let him know. This is the time. I'm looking at your comments and listening to Brother Ron.
I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm talking reckless. I'm sorry. I don't know. Like I'm a man that has nothing to lose.
Man with nothing to lose, huh?
I don't mean to talk so reckless. I don't know why I'm talking like stream of consciousness. I'm sorry. Jeez. Well, how you really feel, Ron?
If it gets too bad, I can.
Yeah, let me know. Yeah,
I can put it on.
I don't mean to get you in trouble. I'm sorry.
If I feel it's a little too raw, I could just put it on. I'll put it on. Oh my gosh, I'm going blank.
Yeah, but Nicole, I respect you enough. I don't listen to like people. I ain't gonna call no names out, but people like you, I respect and trust because you are honest. You are honest broker. You care about black people. You got a black son. You raised to being a black man. Yes. So I know you love black men. A lot of these people don't love. We don't love ourselves enough to do what's right for our people. Right. It is unfortunate.
It is. And when I see these inner wars going on with us, and I would see these, especially on YouTube, you would see these black men versus black women, and
it's stupid, man.
It's so stupid and it's so pointless, and it makes us look weak. We're already weak as it is, and it just weakens the pool of us, know. And I said I would never be that channel. It's sickening to see.
I went down that path a little bit.
Yeah,
that's it. It don't solve anything. Because I told you guys, you know what? Y'all mad these black women not getting your wop. This is the thing. You treat your dear black men, treat your black women like you treat your cars and your guns. Learn them well and with respect and care. Because like Dick Gregory said, we call black women strong and our cars beautiful. That's crazy. You want to get a black man mad, do something to his car. Black woman gets messed over, we don't do nothing. Like the sister up in Harlem. That was horrible. You know what I'm talking
Mhm.
about? The sister, she told the dude no, and the dude ended up beating up and biting and try to buy an eye out. You
I
heard about that?
saw that. Like, that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. We're walking around here with mental issues. We were talking about Harvey last night.
Yeah,
Walking around here with mental, that's sick.
it
Why
is
would
very
you do
disgusting.
that?
And it's not a man, by the way. That's a male or a wild dog that needs to be put down.
Thank
You
you.
don't treat nobody like that. But the fact that the community know, I mean, I can't ain't no community with neighborhood because we a community, we have a code of ethics that will never happen. Folks were saying, according to the news, that happened several times by the same guy. How come y'all protecting this damn predator and this bastard?
Yeah. I just
That's horrible. That mean
and
they
then,
know who's doing it. It means the people in the neighborhood know that this guy is doing this to women, and nobody's doing anything about it.
yeah, and that's the thing, Jaleel. And then those types that do this, it gets put on y'all, on everybody. You know, when there's only a few that are doing this.
Yeah, but we allowed it, like my uncle who got molested by a child predator. And you had several child predators in my uncle's neighborhood, and nobody did anything about it.
Right.
You supposed to have. That's why I know we don't have a code, not
Mhm.
a group code. Because we had a group code, that would have been taken care of. Just like
Right.
these guys doing this to this woman, they will be put down some type of way. They should have been put down a long time ago.
Right.
We want to save everybody. That's what I'm saying. Like, George Floyd ain't Dr. King or Malcolm X, but yeah, we made him George. No, come on, man. Damn, 8 funerals. Come on.
Yeah. Did he have that many?
He had a lot of them.
I
But I'm
saw.
saying, like, I don't know. I'm
think
not
I
very
saw
popular
one,
right now. I'm not very. I thought about this. Said, okay, Breonna Taylor. Okay, but these folks didn't die. They didn't dedicate their lives to liberating black people, as far as I know. But the folks, I mean, look at Louisville, right?
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, Alberta Odell Jones. You ever heard of Alberta Odell Jones?
I want to say it sounds familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, she was like one of the first black women to get past the bar in the state of Kentucky.
Mhm.
She was the first black and woman prosecutor in Jefferson County, where Louisville is located. So back in the 60s, she was over the domestic violence division.
Mhm.
So back in the 1960s, you had a 37-year-old black woman sending white men to jail for beating up on their wives.
Right.
And also, she was Cassius Clay, who became known as Muhammad Ali's first lawyer.
Mhm.
She negotiated his first contract with the Louisville group, the group of white businessmen who controlled his career at the beginning. She made sure that they created a trust fund for Muhammad Ali that he could access when he turned 35. So this was a black woman looking out for a black man. And also she did what Stacey Abrams did in Georgia. She did it in Louisville, where she organized all these black voters, taught them voter education, how to use voter machines. She was able to desegregate Louisville basically overnight by being politically active and organizing black people. And also she helped organize the 1963 March on Washington. This woman was killed back on August 5th, 1965. She was drunk by a group of men, beaten, bloody, and thrown into the river off a bridge. She's like 34, 35 years young. And her case is still unsolved to this day. And that happened in Louisville. They got a big photo of her on the side of a bank downtown. But, it was an inside job. Because it was like, how many people she pissed off by just doing what she was doing and existing.
Mm.
And the person that lured her out her home was the so-called friend she was helping. Her friend made her feel guilty for saying, "Oh, you think you better than other black people because you a lawyer, you went to Howard University and all this stuff. You think?" And she like, "I'm not better than y'all. I want to help black people." So her friend had her lured out the home, and she was dead. And the friend did not contact the family. Like the family reached out to the friend and said, "What happened? Like you was the last person to talk to her." And then the friend like, "I don't know," because they called the friend home the next day that she was gone, and her daughter answered, and the daughter told them that her mama was downtown, but downtown wasn't even open at that time. That her so-called friend was downtown, and like Alberta Jones' sister said that night that her sister was reading an article about President Kennedy being killed or assassinated. And Alberta Jones told her sister that, "I hope they don't assassinate me." And her sister said, "Don't worry, baby, you ain't the president." And she got assassinated. But nobody talks about Alberta O'Dell. All this energy for Breonna Taylor, but nothing for this woman that dedicated and even lost her life for liberating black people. See, we don't honor like Dr. Randy Short said, we love our traitors, but we hate our heroes. And I'm not knocking Breonna Taylor because people are well, why you talking about Breonna? She didn't deserve to lose a life like that, but damn.
Right.
For every Breonna Taylor, there's Alberto Odell Jones.
Yeah, just balance. You need the balance.
Being balanced.
Yeah, I think it's just more outrageous. I think people get really, angry with the way, they were murdered. I think that's more why we see that, just in the nature and the way they were murdered and how nothing is being done about it.
Well, Alberto
that's
Odell
where a lot of
Jones,
the outrage comes from.
Yeah, but Alberto Odell Jones, they killed her, right?
Right.
They found her purse on the bridge like 2 or 3 years later.
Right.
That all her stuff intact. So it was no robbery. That was a targeted hit. And my understanding, they used a group of black men to do the white man's bidding. That was my understanding. Well, because they caught a guy that was 17 years old. They found his fingerprint in her rental car because a car was being fixed. They let the man go. The police lied about witnesses being dead and all this stuff. Witnesses were still alive, and some of them are still alive. So you used to have people that saw her getting killed and violated like this, and nobody's been held accountable since August 5th, 1965 for her death.
Awful.
So when Breonna Taylor happens, when you don't respect what happened to Alberto Odell Jones and do something about it. Right. That's how you have Breonna Taylor's and George Floyd's happening. So we can't protect our liberators, then we don't, everybody's a target.
Right.
If they can censor Donald Trump, they can censor anybody.
Oh, yeah.
And the Black Lives Matter, they go back to then. We love white folks. What she was twerking at?
Oh, Belinda. Yes, this is her question. Hey, Belinda, what did you think about BLM posting that twerking nonsense?
Well, it's all BS. It's MK6 Ultra stuff, mind control. What was she twerking at?
Everywhere.
What was the location though? Specifically, Washington Monument, a phallic symbol. You still want that white D. You still need that white D in your life. White daddy D. Oh Lord. Oh, I'm twerking. Oh Lord. Sex magic. Black girl sex magic. Black girl sex magic. Come give it to me, daddy.
And they really try to make that like it's something powerful, significant. Bullshit. It's just like, wow. Yeah, it's utter nonsense.
But Black Lives Matter, the LLC. I was down at Ferguson when all that BS went down because you had the Black Lives Matter, the grassroots movement. Then you had the George Soros Black Lives Matter LLC and Black lesbian Marxists. That's why I call them Black lesbian Marxists, because they all Marxists, they lesbians, the founders. But Marxism and communism never helped Black people. They always utilize our Black power for their agenda. See, Black folks have no agenda. That's the problem. We want to be part of everybody's bullshit. It's like we want to be in bed with White Zeddy and the devil. We don't care. As long as we just close to not God, but the devil. The devil. We love the devil D. Think about the 30s. I said this is the 30s, right? Now, people don't know about the history of Black folks. We fighting everybody wars, but our own thing. Back in the 30s, they had the Spanish Civil War, right? It was a guy from Texas. I love Texas. A lot of great people from Texas. Named Oliver Law, a black man from Texas named Oliver Law. Now look him up. He was associated with the Communist Party. He was a veteran of the army. He went over to Spain to fight for the people against Franco. That's the dictator of Spain at the time. They had a civil war. So this man has no connection to Europe or Spain, but he go over there, become the commander of the Lincoln Brigade. It's an integrated army, and he's the first black man to lead white troops in the battle in U.S. military history, although he's fighting for another country. And he gets killed in battle back in July of 1937. Now, Paul Robeson, who met Oliver Law, the great Paul Robeson, wanted to play him in a movie, but Hollywood would not give him the money or resources to create the movie. And the thing about Oliver Law, he fought for these white people causes. The white people may be the cause of his death, his own people. There's a thing called fragging. You ever heard of fragging? No. It's Fragging. It's a thing where the soldiers turn on their commanding officers. They kill their commanding officers in battle. Friendly fire. But it's called fragging. This happened in Vietnam. I talked to veterans from Vietnam. They tell me how, the white officers were getting shit in training camp. And they go over to the jungle and they kill them off. They were killing them. And it was a mistake. I think the enemy did. It was friendly fire. They're actually killing their officers. Wow. The white racist officers of guilt. So it's been implied that this man was killed by his own white soldier because he was a black man. They got to think about this Jim Crow. These white men came from America, Jim Crow mindset, racist mindset. I dare a black man tell me how to fight. So they said that, from my understanding, some of his white soldiers, and then they had a black soldier that peed on him and started dancing around his body. But it's hard to really understand what really happened because you got different stories, primary sources. The people talking about they met up and talk about how they killed Oliver Law. They say lynched this man, allegedly. But I want y'all to understand. This man fought for white liberation, for Spaniards.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's the Moors. We went over to Spain and educated and civilized them. We ruled for 700, 800 years, right? Black folks from Africa. We gave them their universities, gave them their culture. But, how many of us know about Oliver Law?
Right.
Like the sacrifice we made in every war for everybody. It's like a guy named Albert Young from Memphis. He was Tuskegee Airman. He died over, I forgot what country, I think Czechoslovakia or somewhere, and they honor him. They just recently did a new memorial dedicated to him over there. Negroes ain't interested in this over here in Memphis. We just had our founders centennial celebration maybe in 2019. We were trying to get these folks to honor this man. No, it was 2018 when we got a thing called Memphis in May, where we honor a foreign country every year annually doing Memphis in May celebrations.
Mm-hmm.
So the country that he died in, they were being honored in 2019. And me and my mom, our organization, we involved in honoring our Black veterans and stuff like that. The people over there connected with us that we raised this money for this monument for this young man from Memphis. And it's like nobody's interested in honoring him over in America. Are we doing something wrong? I said, a prophet is always about honor. This man died in a plane crash as Tuskegee Airman for liberation of Europe. And this country look at him as a national hero, but he's not well known in America.
Wow.
Especially Memphis. And the folks that organized the festival won't even honor him. They ain't give a damn.
That's done on purpose.
Yeah. So Oliver Law, he's from a son of Texas, and Albert Young, who's from Memphis, they not honored by their own country for their sacrifices.
Right. This is why it's so important to do your research and know your history, because this is what we get. Mm-hmm.
The same place that produced the Tuskegee Airmen produced the Tuskegee Experiment.
Wow.
Eunice Rivers, right? The nurse, she was the longest serving employee under that program. And the guy who took over for Booker T. Washington after he died, Robert Moulton, was U.S. Army intelligence.
Wow.
And it started on his watch before he retired in 1935. And Tuskegee Experiment started in 1932. He retired in 1935. He was dead by 1940.
Wow. That's right, Black Mama. And shout out to you, Black Mama. Thank you for your donation. Yeah, I mean, it has to just get to that point where we can't worry about folks who don't want to get on code. I mean, it is what it is. You're just gonna have to deal with it. Go to the slaughterhouse. I'm not, you're not gonna see me out here in my chucks and my pearls and acting goofy. Those days are gone. If you want to remain stupid, especially when you have many of us out here saying this is the deal, this is what it's going to be, this is how it's going. These next 4 years, I want your closing thoughts on this, Ron. I don't even know what to think. And then I also saw where Biden said that somebody had posted, how he was like, if I get in office, this pandemic is going to be we're gonna get a hold of it. And then the other day he's like, well, we're just this is gonna be around for a while, we're gonna have to be, we really have no plan. Basically, that's what he was saying. Like, the usual. They lie, say whatever they got to say to get in office and do the opposite. So
I mean, that's a politician. He's a career politician.
Yeah, that's it.
And what problem with Trump was, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't care. Trump is the greatest president of my lifetime. I was conceived and born into the Carter era. And Jimmy Carter problem was he was too honest.
Right.
And Donald Trump problem is that, guess what? He's too honest.
Yeah.
Like, you call him a liar, but he told y'all about the fracking. He told y'all in the last debate, he said Joe Biden is not for fracking. He played him saying it. And guess what? The Keystone Pipeline Agreement, hey, we rolling that back. What did Trump lie at? But it's something about him. Oh my God! Oh, Trump, at all costs, he must get out of my body. It must be an exorcism of the American soul. Trump was the greatest thing, because you know what? He's like political Viagra for black men, like myself. I love Trump. Is like, and he's the hip hop president. Did he not pardon the hip hop mayor? Did he not pardon Lil Wayne and Kodak Black and Michael Harry O, who founded Death Row Records, and then Desiree Perez? Jay-Z Yeah, he moved in silence because Jay-Z didn't endorse Biden because he made a deal with Trump to get his CEO chick and drug kingpin out of her burden. So we don't know how to make these moves as black people. What I'm saying is we got to become more politically aware. It doesn't really matter who's in the White House if you have no agenda and no way to leverage your agenda. You know, you think that Joe Biden would have talked down to Henry Highland Garnett and Frederick Douglass in their prime? No, Frederick Douglass would have pulled out his belt and put that belt buckle and hit the hell out of Joe Biden. What you say my name? Say my name. God damn it, say my name. They all talking weak with no backbone, like they got erectile dysfunction or something on there. Mr. President, I just want to suggest that you do. No, MFer, you gonna do what we tell you to do. We put you in here and we'll take you out of here. Jive turkey. You do one of them Jim Brown, Fred Williamson movies from the 70s. He's some black Caesar up in here. God damn it. Not no Caesar salad Negroes, not no Caesar salad tossing Negroes, but some black Caesar up in here. People crazy, man. But no, but you know, Biden, it don't make it. Look, they are sowing the seeds of their own discontent. It's not legitimate because look how you treat the troops. You creating another situation where it might be a bonus army. And this is why I said this is 1930s. Look up the bonus army. World War I veterans who were disgruntled, who went to DC for reparations, and they got massacred by their own government, by their own people like General Patton, Eisenhower, and Douglas MacArthur led that against veterans. See, the GI Bill came not because of World War II, but because the bonus army, what they did back in the 30s when they created a tent city. Like Dr. King wasn't a threat till he started talking about redistribution of wealth and trying to set policy. They didn't care about you integrating a hamburger restaurant. You know, y'all want to eat at a place where y'all not want. Why you want to eat at a place where they're spitting your food and tell you to have a nice day? Then Dr. King said, what good is it to integrate the hamburger restaurant when I can't afford a hamburger?
Yep.
So it's economics.
What got him killed was when he started talking about economics, you know.
That's last speech. Yeah. That's
it.
Yep.
That's
and
it.
Then they couldn't, you know what? It's like what he did. Donald Trump is like Dr. King. He's like Dr. King. I know. Blasphemy. No, listen to what I'm saying. Dr. King and Donald Trump were both media darlings at first. They were made by the media. Right. The media is the most powerful entity on the planet because it controls and influences the minds of the masses. How do you go from being America's #1 boss to being a pariah or boogeyman? Look what Dr. King's last life was, last 5 years of his life. The Washington Post, New York Times, they made him tell me he's a demagogue, he's a demon, he's a son of Satan, all this stuff. He anything but a child of God. But he was the moral conscience of America, and they destroyed Dr. King in the media, just like they're destroying Donald Trump. So you got to ask yourself a question: why are they trying to impeach this man a second time when he's no longer president? Impeachment means you try to remove a person from office. They trying to keep this man out of office forever because he does not play well with others. He is not a Democrat. He is not a Republican. He's actually a free person. Joe Biden is owned by the banks. Donald Trump made old banks. He ain't owned by them. They can't. He's a wild dog. He's a mad dog. They want to put him down by any means necessary. But like Dr. King, that January 16th. See, I'm in Memphis right now. I'm right across the street from where they shot Dr. King in the face. I live right across the street from that. And also where they started the race massacre 1866, the Memphis race massacre, which led to the Reconstruction era, when they was killing black folks and raping black people and burned down all the black churches and schools in Memphis. I'm right here. So Dr. King last march in Memphis, March 28th, the government sabotaged that march using skin folks that weren't kinfolk. They used black agent provocateurs to sabotage Dr. King's last march. And they was using the media said, how can he be a man of peace when people erupted violently under his lead? So they forced Dr. King, because that day too, also this 16-year-old kid named Larry Payne was killed in the projects by the Memphis police. And I interviewed Larry Payne's mom, and it was just so traumatic. And she lived in Flint, of all places. So she went from Memphis, where they killed her son. They ran her out of Memphis up to Flint, Michigan, where they poisoned her water. So she just passed away maybe in the last 3 or 2 years. But Dr. King was trying to come back to Memphis to lead a peaceful march because they did not want him to get to D.C. They shot and killed him in Memphis because they knew if he got to D.C., what happened on January 6th would have happened when they had that Poor People campaign in DC, because like Dr. King was bringing 1 million people from around the country to DC to disrupt business as usual.
Right.
It was not like a Farrakhan thing or else where you come on a Saturday when nobody's in DC and want to have a big rally and say, oh, else I didn't mean that, but let's talk about everything but we need to talk about. Right. I love Farrakhan, but Farrakhan too old. Y'all trying to hide behind granddaddy Farrakhan. Like, be a man. Be a man. Okay? Be a man. But what I'm saying is, they want to discredit you before they kill you. That's what they do. And sometimes, Dr. King was lucky he died, one time, but they tortured Paul Robeson. But I want people to pay attention to what's going on, because these politicians, it never worked for black people. The only time that identity politics worked was, I said, in Reconstruction, when you had black man leadership that were doing things for black people first. That's the only time they ever worked for us. All this symbolism over substance, all this style over results ain't gonna work for black people. And our black women are some of the most educated people in the country. But just because just because you got book sense don't mean you got common sense.
Right.
And we gotta re-educate our women, and black men be men. Stop all this shit. You black women, you out of control, Negro. Put them back in check. Make her want to submit to you. Treat your women like you treat your guns and your cars. Learn them well with respect, love, and care. So I can remember. I'm gonna shut up now. I ain't gonna get you in trouble. Converse and pearl.
It's good. It's for me. I like getting all sorts of perspectives. Some people may love what you're saying. Some people may hate what you're saying. But it's always interesting to see where people are coming from. You just never know. You may learn something. They like, oh, I never thought of it this way, or that way, or it is what it is.
Yeah, but black men and black women, you can't sleep your way into liberation.
Right.
You cannot sleep your way. I remember talking to some veterans from Freedom Summer. That what Freedom Summer is like back in Mississippi, back in '64. They're trying to arrest the black folks to vote and read, and 3 civil rights workers sworn to change the limit. That was Freedom Summer '64, because they disappeared on Father's Day back in '64. They found their bodies August 4th, 1964, and the damn Obama's birthday is August 4th. Interesting. But I talked to some of the veterans. They're talking about, oh, Ron, we used to have like sex houses, safe spaces where we could express ourselves. They talked just like this. We didn't know what was going on with this grinding black and white zebras. Like, just, oh, Lord, zebra. Oh, black and white. Oh, integration so good. Oh, they were having sex orgies.
Wow.
It's part of the movement. I'm not making this up. I know, oh my God. Part of the movement when we want to sleep with white people. That was the agenda. They caught Brian Rust in the car screwing white dudes.
Yeah,
sucking and screwing.
Well, that's how it goes. That's how it goes.
These folks crazy. I said, y'all effed us up, man. They know they effed up. But they said, we had these sex houses. Oh, Lord, freedom come, freedom come, freedom come, freedom now. That's what they told me. I didn't lie. You can ask people that. They ain't gonna put this stuff in the history books. It might be on Playboy channel or Pornhub. We shall all be coming. We shall all be coming one day.
I'm gonna
Okay, I'm sorry. I just messed up. Just get it now.
Yeah, this has been fun. This has been great. I might have to. It's on.
Man, I don't know what. Back all your stuff up, Nicole. Back all your stuff up. We need your voice. Back all your videos up, because I don't know how this stuff gonna come out, because they censoring everybody.
Oh yeah. Alan,
back all your videos up, and we gotta find out a way to have a platform for black people.
Alan is already telling me, he's like, I didn't even get an alert from your live stream, so I'm gonna have to probably move this. No shade to you, but I'm probably move this to Anchor, because just for certain. So you already know. So.
Yeah, I understand.
You already know. Plus, I need to update Anchor anyway. You guys got to give it up for Brother Ron. Thank you, Ron.
Oh, God. Thank you. It was an honor. I really enjoyed it. It's therapeutic. I lost my mind. I'm sorry. I wake up every morning. Biden's still president? I be looking at my Facebook feed. Is Biden still president? Well, I'm going to wake up.
You can learn a lot. You can learn a lot from Ron, and just taking things from a different perspective, and you're like, I never thought of it that way. That's why I love having you on. You just never know, what you can get from, especially the history, the historic stuff. So, I love having you on, and I thank you for coming on today. So, and I'm so sorry, I have to keep switching you and the days and stuff.
I don't take it personal. It's an honor to be on. I know stuff going on. And like you on the front lines, so you got a lot of stuff you're trying to juggle, but you be one, you care about Black people. So
right, absolutely.
If Joe Biden could get a chance to win after 47 years of screwing us over, I mean, hell, wasn't rearranging stuff, with Black people.
Right. Absolutely. So we shall see how this goes, guys. And I thank you so much for joining me today. It's been funny. It's been interesting. It's been.
I'm a crazy man. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna say I'm normal. You can't be normal. No, Dr. King said that human salvation lies in the hands of the crazily maladjusted. I can't get used to a sister that don't respect me as a man or human being. And you teach your kids, then you wonder why they getting killed by the police and stuff.
Yeah.
Or why they getting they in a group, they comfortable being, you remember that sister in Georgia, that sister that was at that football mom's party. She's the only Black woman there.
Yes.
And she's the only one that died the next day.
Yes.
I'm not laughing at that, but I'm thinking like, why are you comfortable? And she was an attractive Black woman. She married to a Black man, had a beautiful Black family. Why was you comfortable being around them white football moms in deep Georgia? And the next day you dead, nobody else dead. And they said, oh, she just flipped off the balcony and she was drunk and all that,
Like, okay, like, all right.
Well, how can Black folks get that comfortable though?
Yeah. It happens. It happens very easily, But y'all gonna learn one day. Y'all gonna learn.
It might be this year, but you know what? I keep on thinking to myself. So all the people that celebrating Biden's victory and stuff, how many of them are gonna be alive to make it to 2022? I mean, he's not letting you get on insulin and all. I mean, this is like COVID stuff, and you lose your job. I mean, people losing their mind. The homicide rate went up around the country because of what they created last year. This is all social engineering. It's like with this Bernie Sanders thing. I mean, social engineering, like you said, enough is enough.
Right.
Like they tell you they programming us. We like lab rats and guinea pigs. Chucks and pearls and weekends and Bernies.
Right.
Part 3. Oh,
it's a mess. I tell you, it's a mess.
It's insane. It's
a lot of work to do. I tell you that much. Well,
Rome is burning. It got chlamydia and gonorrhea and syphilis all at the same time. It's burning, boy.
All in one.
Burning bush. We still want it though. We love that bush. We're gonna twerk on it and stick and twerk and twerk and twerk it. We're gonna rub the bush. Okay, okay, you go ahead, close it out. Jesus Christ. I'm over. It's over for me.
Oh man.
I won't have any dates for Valentine's. Oh God, no.
I love it. Hilarious. I love it. But I thank you for coming on today. Thank you to the chat room for hanging with us today on this Nicole View Live Sunday.
Yes, put this on Anchor as quick as you can. These folks, you can't say nothing. I don't know what they can say anymore.
That'd be so cool. But yeah, I'm gonna head over to Anchor if you missed this. It's gonna be whatever.
We sick, boss? Oh Lord, it's Candyland. Candy time. Back again. Sweet times at Candyland.
But it's been real. It's been fun. And
you gotta have a sense of humor.
You definitely do. In these days and times, you definitely do. So
all right, Sister Nicole, we love you madly. Keep on producing and pushing.
Thank you. You too. You guys support Brother Ron at We All Be TV. He has so much going on. He has his artwork, and I'm still gonna get something from you. I keep saying that after remind myself.
You good.
Artwork from you, like the one I like that's on the easel. I think I've seen that one on your website too.
Yeah, Sweet Lorraine at Club Alabama. Like Sweet Lorraine, one of my favorite songs. It was a song that was sang by Nat King Cole. This legend has it that a guy at a bar said, "Why don't you sing Sweet Lorraine?" All right, I'll sing Sweet Lorraine. I just found joy, like a brand new tutu toy. And that's like one of my favorite songs. And Club Alabama was a club located in Central Avenue in Los Angeles. Los Angeles like a Harlem out west. Back in South Los Angeles or South Central Los Angeles, you had a Central Avenue, all these great jazz clubs and like a Dunbar Hotel. And I remember my grandfather, like I said, he was in the Red Ball Express. He was stationed out there and on the weekends he would go to South Central LA to hang out at the club. And he'll tell me that was the first time at the club Alabama he heard I think Lester Young and Coleman Hawkins. These are great saxophonists from that era. So it's interesting. Like, no, we have such a amazing history. When white folks forced us to work with each other and deal with each other, this is when we had a lot of success. Now, you lost Hank Aaron. A lot of people don't know Hank Aaron was a Negro Leagues baseball player. Like Willie Mays and Charlie Pride, who just passed away, country music star. He was a Negro League baseball player. He was a pitcher for the Memphis Red Sox. So Negro Leagues were one of the greatest black economic engines in this country. And the Negro Leagues were making more money than the major leagues back in the 40s. So the reason why they brought Jackie Robinson over was to get the black money out the Negro Leagues. See, the Negro Leagues went bankrupt because they were not compensated when the major leagues started poaching their talent. So a lot of our greatest baseball players were Negro League baseball players, like let's say Jackie, but also Willie Mays, who's still alive with us. No, don't take the COVID, Willie. Don't take the vaccine, Willie. Say hey, say no. Don't say hey, say no, Willie. Then you hear like Roy Campanella, Charlie Pride, but then what they do? Negro Leagues was more popular among white and black fans, but because we were making the money, they took it away from us.
Right.
So Jackie Robinson died very disillusioned because he was the black manager in so-called major leagues. Jackie Robinson died of diabetes when he was in the early 50s. This man, like, he was about 80 years old and legally blind because all the stress dealing with white people.
Wow.
He was court-martialed down in Texas too, at Camp Hood, I think. Back in the 40s, he beat the court-martial. But you should see the transcripts, how they treat him. You can read it online. They'll call him anything but a child of God.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm definitely not surprised. But yeah, sad, very sad. But all right, Mr. Ron, I'm going to
sign it off now.
Sign off. You guys.
Coon Tunes on Nickelodeon. La 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 meh.
All facts, all facts. So you guys make sure to tune in next Saturday. I'm going to have the lovely B1 couple, Miss Danae and Melvin. We're going to be talking about, what's going on in politics and news and whatnot. And basically, I guess what will it be like week 1 of Biden's presidency? We'll see how that's going in week 1. So you guys stay tuned for that. All right. Well, Ron, it was great. And thank you.
Thank you. And people that want to defend Obama, defend what he didn't do in Flint, Michigan. Don't tell me about Obama couldn't do nothing when he didn't do nothing in Flint, Michigan.
Right. That's right.
Okay. Thank you, Nicole. I appreciate it.
Mic drop. Okay. I'll see you guys next weekend. Take care.
Hey, everybody, this is Brother Ron. I am asking you all to do me a big favor. Think about supporting the We All Be movement. Your donation is tax deductible. The We All Be Group Incorporated is a recognized 501c3. And I'm just asking you all because I want to keep on bringing y'all quality work through the way that I know how to do best. And I'm going to sing my praises and toot my horn. A lot of y'all were not hip to Dick Gregory until Brother Ron brought him on the We All Be platform, until that jingle review we did. Y'all seen another side of Judge Joe Brown, and Judge Joe Brown's message has been amplified. But it was We All Be that brought Judge Joe Brown to y'all back in 2014. And so many others. And we covered so many things. So help us out so we can help you all. Peace.